Next speaker, Honorable Zahir Moulana.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Honorable Presiding Member. First and foremost, let me thank Honorable Opposition Leader, Honorable Sumanthiran, to moving this adjournment, which has given a great opportunity for us to discuss various grievances and issues what we are facing in the Northeast. Honorable Presiding Member, as you are well aware, almost for 3 decades, 1983 to 2009, due to the conflict situations prevailing in the north and the eastern provinces and its peripheral areas, its populace were economically starved, and more significantly, we have been tragically compelled to losing our livelihoods, assets, and hundreds of our family members. The infrastructural and physical structural facilities of many villages and towns were badly damaged. As such, one of the towns of the eastern province which was badly affected was Eraur, which is my hometown. Public and civil facilities like the Eraur police station were overrun by the terrorists and burned to ashes. Public market, Eraur town council building, and library were totally destroyed. The entire town of Eraur was considered as a refugee camp, and there was a standstill in all our day-to-day activities, much more so compared to other towns in the district. Furthermore, we were deprived in getting development in every aspect, and we were forcefully pushed backward. With post-conflict development, as normalcy has now been restored, we hope that as good governance now in effect, we can be of great strength to His Excellency the President and to Honorable Prime Minister in their sincere effort to steer the country towards political stability, improve our economy with sustainable development, and bring back glory to our motherland. Honorable Presiding Member, at this juncture, many matters were discussed here. Many of our lands were occupied by military. Although they say demilitarization is taking place, still they are not released. In this juncture, we intend to develop the affected areas and have identified many items on a priority basis. One such aspect is, which is relative to the relocation of the Eraur police station to a more suitable property and to release of the current properties which it occupies for over 25 years. The Eraur police station has been utilizing private properties for the housing, the police station, barracks, office quarters, and car park. One such property occupied by the Eraur police belongs to Aligarh Central College, a burgeoning national school in Eraur, which is currently in dire requirement for more space to house further facilities for its students, which is the land in question actually contiguous to the school. Therefore, sir, the civil society organization, and the local authority of Eraur and general public have come to a mutual conclusion, and that is, it is too imperative for the police station to relocate it to a property that is suitable to serve the needs of the populace with ample amenities offered to the officers in one large complex and thereby release the land of the school for its use and other properties to the private landowners. Having said that, இந்த நிலைமையிலே மட்டக்களப்பு மாவட்டத்திலே எங்களுக்கு நிறைய பிரச்சனைகள் இருந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றது. இன்று நல்லாட்சி மலர்ந்திருக்கின்ற இந்த காலகட்டத்திலே மட்டக்களப்பு மாவட்டத்தில் தங்களின் பாரம்பரிய விவசாய கிராமங்களான 200 வில், ரூகம், வடிச்சல், கோப்பாவளி போன்ற பல கிராமங்களில் வாழ்ந்த மக்கள் 1955ஆம் ஆண்டும் 1990ஆம் ஆண்டு ஏற்பட்ட ஒரு மனவருத்தமான வன்செயல் காலங்களில் இடம்பெயர்ந்து ஏறாவூர் நகரத்தில் திறந்தவெளி அகதி முகாமில் 2 தசாப்தங்களாக இன்னும் வாழ்ந்து வருகின்றார்கள். இவர்களை சொந்த நிலங்களில் குடியேற்றி விவசாய, மீன்பிடி, கால்நடை வளர்ப்பு போன்ற பாரம்பரிய தொழில்களை மேற்கொள்வதற்கான எந்த வசதிகளும் இதுவரை செய்யப்படவில்லை. இவர்கள் தங்களின் பாரம்பரிய சொந்த காணிகளுக்கு செல்லும் போது இக்காணிகள் வேறு நபர்களால் உரிமை கோரப்படுகின்றது. இக்காணிகளின் உரிமைகளை உரியவர்களுக்கு பெற்றுக் கொடுப்பதில் அதிகாரிகள் அக்கறையின்றி பாரபட்சமாக நடந்து கொள்கின்றார்கள். உதாரணமாக, ஏறாவூர் நகரத்தை அண்டியதாக மயிலம்பாவளி கிராமத்தில் காணப்படும் அஸ்மீர் மாவத்தை என்னும் பிரதேசத்தில் 1978ஆம் ஆண்டு காணி துண்டுகள் அரசாங்கத்தினால் அனைத்து மக்களுக்கும் வழங்கப்பட்டிருந்த போதிலும் அக்காணிகள் உரிய மக்கள் குடியேறு வாழ விடாது தடுக்கப்படுகின்றார்கள். இதே நிலை உன்னிச்சை 200 வில் பிரதேசத்திலும் காணப்படுகின்றது. ஏறாவூர் பிரதேசத்தில் வீடின்றியும் வீட்டுக்கான காணியின்றியும் அல்லல்படும் யுத்தத்தினால் இடம்பெயர்ந்த இந்த மக்களுக்கு அரச காணிகளை பகிர்ந்தளிக்க இதுவரை எவ்வித நடவடிக்கைகளும் மேற்கொள்ளப்படவில்லை. இந்த மக்களுக்காக ஒரு மாதிரி வீடமைப்பு திட்டம் கூட இன்னும் உருவாக்கப்படவில்லை. வாழ்வாதார புனர்வாழ்வு நடவடிக்கைகளை எடுக்கச் சென்றால் இந்த மாவட்டத்தில் உள்ள எங்களது பிரதேசங்களில் புனர்வாழ்வு நடவடிக்கை, வாழ்வாதார உதவிகள் வழங்குதல் போன்ற செயற்பாடுகளில் அரசு சார்பற்ற நிறுவனங்கள் கூட கூடிய அக்கறை காட்டுவதில்லை. ஒரு கண்துடைப்புக்காக மாத்திரம் ஒரு சில நிறுவனங்கள் செயற்படுகின்றன. யுத்தத்தினால் பாதிக்கப்பட்ட மக்களுக்கு உடைமைகளுக்கான, உயிரிழப்புகளுக்கான நஷ்ட ஈடுகள் இதுவரை வழங்கப்படாத காரணத்தினால் பலர் இன்னும் கையேந்தும் நிலையிலேயே வாழ்ந்து வருகின்றனர். எமது பிரதேசத்தில் நாட்டுக்காக உயிர் நீத்த பல பாதுகாப்பு உத்தியோகத்தர் குடும்பங்கள் கூட அவர்களுக்கு வழங்கப்பட்டு வந்த உபகார சம்பளம் இடைநிறுத்தப்பட்டுள்ளது. அவர்களின் மரணங்கள் கூட எவ்வாறு நடந்தது என இதுவரை உறுதிப்படுத்தப்படவில்லை. இவ்வாறு வாழ்வாதார விஷயத்தில் ஈடுபடுகின்ற மீன்பிடி தொழில் வாய்ப்பு மக்கள் யுத்தகால இடம்பெயர்ந்த நன்னீர் மீன்பிடி தொழில்களை மேற்கொள்ள இந்த மக்களுக்கு அந்த தொழிலை தொடர்ந்து செய்வதற்கு வசதிகள் செய்து கொடுக்கப்பட வேண்டும் என்று கேட்டுக்கொள்கின்றேன். அதற்கான தடைகள் நீக்கப்பட வேண்டும் அல்லது உவர்நீர் வாவிகளில் மீன்பிடி தொழிலை மேற்கொள்ள வசதிகள் செய்து கொடுக்கப்பட வேண்டும். எங்களது பகுதிகளிலே சவுக்கடி, புன்னக்குடா, கழுவங்கேணி போன்ற அந்த கடல் வளம் மிக்க எனது ஊரை ஏறாவூருக்கு அண்மித்து இருக்கின்ற இந்த பகுதிகளில் எமது மக்களுக்கு பாரபட்சமின்றி அனைத்து மீனவர்களுக்கும் அனுமதிகள் வழங்கப்பட வேண்டும். எனவே இந்த சூழ்நிலையிலே எங்களது பகுதிகளிலே தூர்ந்து போயிருக்கின்ற எத்தனையோ குளங்கள், அந்த பல தோடையடி ஆறு வெள்ளத்தடுப்பு முறிவு மற்றும் இவ்வாறான பாலங்கள், அணைக்கட்டுகள் தூர்ந்து போயிருக்கின்றவற்றை முன்னுரிமை கொடுத்து விவசாய மக்களுக்காக நல்லதொரு வழி சமைத்து கொடுக்க வேண்டும். அது மாத்திரமல்லாமல் இந்த வருடத்திலே 2016ஆம் ஆண்டு இந்த கன்சல்டேட்டிவ் பட்ஜெட்டிலே இவர்கள் எமது அமைச்சு, அதாவது மினிஸ்ட்ரி ஆஃப் இரிகேஷன் அண்ட் வாட்டர் ரிசோர்சஸ் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்டிலே சொல்லியிருக்கிறார்கள், Rugam and Kitul Tang amalgamation project. இது மிகவும் முக்கியமான ஒரு ப்ராஜெக்ட் எங்களை பொறுத்தவரையில். This augmentation not only increases the extent of cultivatable land up to 25,000 acres, but will also enable the farmers to cultivate for both Maha and Yala season in the entire extent of paddy lands in Batticalote district, as well as cultivate various other crops such as fruit, plants, vegetable, whilst developing the poultry and livestock in the rest of the cultivatable areas, which will enhance the national food program of His Excellency Maithripala Sirisena of post 2016 to 2018. Further, it is going to help us in climatic resilient improvement, along with the flood mitigation, which has been causing flood disasters every year during the monsoon season due to lack of proper water management, whereas this facility will provide drinking water for more than 200,000 people of the district as well. Having said that, and let me thank you, Honorable Presiding Member, to give this opportunity. This is the time for breaking fast. We all pray. This is like, let me thank Honorable Opposition Leader to giving us an opportunity. This has given opportunity like the North and the East. If it is merged, a provincial council, how we place our grievances. And this has given a platform and a forum for us to place all our grievances. And also we hope and pray all our communities realize this plight, this situation, and to find a meaningful solution for all our grievances. Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Next speaker, Honorable Mr.Sumanthiran.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Member, and I'm happy to follow. Thank you. I'm happy to follow my friend Honorable Zahir Moulana, who made a case for the merger of the North and the East, and I hope his sentiments will be duly regarded by his party, the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, of which he is the only member in this House, and the United National Party that's leading the government, as we discuss in the Constitutional Assembly a permanent solution to the national question that has afflicted this country since independence. In the last parliament, we often used this adjournment motion, such as the one we are debating today, the situation in the North and East, to air the grievances of areas that had to recover from the war devastation. At those times, we wondered, or we hoped for better times, times when then government would not be in office any longer, or would change their mind and become progressive, and that it will not be necessary for us to come to this August Assembly and speak of all of these grievances. And when a change came last year in January, and then followed by the fullness of that change in August last year, we thought we have turned the pages, and now it will not be necessary to air our grievances in public like this, since we were also close partners who brought about that change in government. This government is called the government that is implementing the principles of good governance And as the mover of the resolution, the Honorable Leader of the Opposition, stated earlier in the day, we definitely see a change in attitude from earlier times. But translating that change of attitude into action seems to be lacking, to the extent that the two speakers who preceded me, both of whom are part of the government, were heard to complain about the situation in the eastern province. One honorable member from Batiglo district, the other an honorable member from the Ampara district, both stated, although they are members of the government, that north and the east have been neglected and that there are several issues that remain to be resolved. So it's sad that we have to urge the government in a debate such as this, but we are exercising this privilege in a sense that we have in democracy to be able to speak with frankness and tell the government now publicly of the various issues that we have brought to their attention before making them public. The issues with regard to release of lands was a crucial factor. Last year, at the presidential election, before that, during the campaign, there was a definite promise that was given that all of the private land will be released to the people, to the owners, for their resettlement. And in fact, the intention of the government is clear, or was clear, in that they moved in that aspect and released certain extents of land, both in the north and the east. But 1.5 years later today, as we look back, we find that this is grossly inadequate. There is so much more that could have been done in a very short time. In fact, our expectation was that all of this should have been done within the first 100 days program of the government, which started in January 2015. Unfortunately, after 1.5 years, more than 70% of that land that is illegally occupied by the security forces still remain within the domain of the security forces. Similarly, if I am to highlight one other issue, is the issue of prisoners. I am highlighting that only for the reason that again, a solemn promise was given in October last year, that before the 7th of November, that a majority of these prisoners would be released. However, even to date, that has not happened. So it's well and good for the government to say the right things, as it did on the 14th of September last year in the UN Human Rights Council when the Honorable Foreign Minister spoke, and he was applauded for his frankness, for the vision that he revealed to the world of a new Sri Lanka, an inclusive Sri Lanka, and itemized the reforms that this government would bring about in this country. Baby steps have been taken, and we don't deny that. But they remain baby steps. When a baby begins to walk, everyone applauds, people are happy that the baby is now standing up, taking the first few steps. Even if it falls, then it stands up, people are happy. But after 2 years, 3 years, if the baby is still stumbling, still falling down, still only taking baby steps, then there is something radically wrong with that. And that is what we find with this government, and that is why today it has become necessary for us to urge the government to pull their socks up, as it were, and move and deliver seriously on the promises that they have given to the people of this country more than anybody else, but also to the international community at large. Our people are frustrated naturally because you can't keep promising them all the time and not delivering on those promises. And therefore, this is a clarion call today to the government to please speed up what they started doing in respect of all these matters that my colleagues have spoken today. They have enumerated the difficulties that our people face in the areas of their occupation, in the allocation of jobs, in the fishing industry where people of other districts and from other countries invade our space and make it impossible for our fishermen to make a living. One example about the jobs is that the Jaffna Kacheri recently was sent 6 persons as laborers who did not speak a word of Tamil. Now, is that just? Aren't there many thousands who are jobless in those areas? So even to grades such as that, where somebody should be walking to the office, who should be engaged, recruited from nearby places, from faraway places, from other districts, people are being sent. And naturally, our people are asking the question. Now they have started asking the question as to whether there is any change at all. They are asking us, is there any difference between what we had to endure during the last government and under this new government? They know that there is change, there is a sense of freedom, there is relaxation of various measures that were imposed by the previous government, all that they are aware. But it must move on. It can't stay there. People's lives must be rebuilt. They must find their feet. They must be able to carry on with their living, make their own livelihood, and live with dignity. And that is still not possible for a majority of people who have suffered as a result of living in those areas in which violence ravaged for 3 decades or more. So, Honorable Presiding Member, the ministers who spoke today told us about various projects that they were implementing. We are thankful for all of that, and yet we found all of them wholly inadequate to deal with a special situation of recovery from war devastation of 3 decades. There must be special attention with special programs if those people are to get back to normal living. And we urge the government to consider this very seriously, to take us into confidence. We have supported the change. We have supported this government. We voted at the last budget proposals with this government giving the budget proposals a 2/3 majority. as can be observed, we are unable to continue to give that kind of unconditional support anymore, and we know the reasons why. So it's time that the government takes this seriously, and I appeal to both the President and the Prime Minister, who we know intend well, to make the necessary changes, to bring about some kind of structural arrangements. It is not enough to tell the honorable ministers in charge of various subjects to consult us and work with us, because that doesn't happen. The Honorable Minister for Resettlement was complaining bitterly that Honorable Mawai Senadaraja has said that it is not possible to work with him. And he said, Honorable Senadaraja said that without foundation. It is with foundation. It is for good reasons. Those sentiments were expressed. We haven't lightly made these complaints. So when these complaints now start emerging from us, we appeal to the government to please take this seriously. If you want to actually realize reconciliation in this country, actually make a change, turn over a new chapter, have a new Sri Lanka where all the people live in contentment and with pride that they are Sri Lankans, don't have a sense of grievance that they are being discriminated against, then the right attitudes that you bear in your mind must necessarily be translated into action. And this is a golden opportunity, and we ask that you don't fritter it away. A golden opportunity because we on our part, representing our people with the mandate of our people, are willing to give that assistance to the government, give whatever necessary to achieve that goal. The constitution-making process is proceeding, but at the same time, all of these day-to-day issues must be addressed, redressed, and people must regain that confidence that in a new Sri Lanka, which the new government has promised, things will be different. That it won't be like before, that we will truly be able to proudly say we are Sri Lankan, that all the different peoples of this country will have their different identities affirmed and given its due place. Powers shared amongst the different peoples in such a way that mere majoritarian rule will not be the order of the day, that everyone will have a share, everyone will be able to actually use the sovereignty that is vested in the peoples of this country. And therefore, I thank the Honourable Member for granting me this opportunity to speak at the end of this debate and conclude my speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. මෙම සභාව ලබන 21 වෙනිදා පස්වරු 1ට නැවත රැස් වෙනවා.